Hi guys, welcome back. It's CoeliacTeenager, and today, as you can kind of tell, we're in the kitchen, and this is my first ever recipe video on my channel. All the people that have ever tried my cheese scones, which is what I'm making today, but I'm being serious because they're actually so yummy. And I thought I'd share the recipe with you guys today. If you do make any of the foods that I do in any of my recipe videos, please use the hashtag CoeliacTeenager. It'd be great to look through all of your posts and seeing what you guys have actually been making. So let's get started. So you need to preheat your oven to 180 degrees. So I'm going to talk about the ingredients and the things you're going to be needing. The things you're going to be needing is, you need 225 grams of self-raising flour. This is from Dove's Farm, so I really recommend getting this one if you're gluten-free. You're going to need a pinch of salt, a teaspoon of baking powder, 55 grams of butter, 100 grams of cheese. I actually really recommend cathedral cheese. It is my favourite cheese ever, and it honestly tastes so good. 80 to 90 millilitres of milk. You also need some extra cheese for putting on the top. And my special ingredient is actually mustard powder, and you can use 1 to 2 teaspoons of this. Also, I think homemade stuff is so much better than buying it in the shops. And obviously for gluten-free, you don't find this kind of thing in the shop. So if you can find recipes of it, it's brilliant to make at home. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is needing our scales. And we are going to weigh out in a big bowl. I've just got a huge one here. And you're going to weigh out 225 grams of your flour. You also might need that flour for later when you are using the dough and rolling it up. The next step is putting in a pinch of salt and a teaspoon of baking powder. Using a metal spoon or a wooden spoon, just mix that all up to make sure that it's all combined. The next thing I'm going to do is add in a teaspoon to 2 teaspoons of mustard powder, and you can give it a mix. At the moment it is just looking like flour. I don't know if you can see that, but it's literally just looking like flour because we've mixed it all together. So next I'm going to add in 55 grams of butter. This is stork butter and it's good for baking. And then all I'm going to do is just mix it with the back of a spoon and make sure it blends in really nicely with the flour. Another good way that works is putting your fingers in and going like this with your fingers to make a little bit of a crumbly mixture. Once you've got a kind of crumbly mixture, you can now add in the other ingredients. So I'm going to be using a grater and I'm going to grate 100 grams of cheese. If you find it easier, you can buy ready grated cheese already, but it is cheaper using just blocks, and to be honest, I like grating my own cheese anyway. If you are going to grate your own cheese, it does take a bit of power. So once you have got 100 grams of cheese, you can just literally pop it in to your bowl of your mixture. Then we're going to add in 80 millilitres of milk. So once you've put in 80 millilitres, you can start mixing it. I like to start with a metal spoon, and then once the mixture starts to come together, I like to use my hands. Turning a little bit crummy like mine is, you can just add in a bit of milk, and that's why I said 80 to 90 millilitres, because it just depends literally on how much you need. So I'm actually going to get started and start using my hands. As you probably know with cooking and making bread and things like that, it's really hard with gluten-free because of the wheat, because that helps it to stick. But this is actually staying together pretty well. Once your mixture has come together like mine, make it into a ball. So that is my ball, and it is honestly looking pretty good. It's staying together really well, and I can throw it up and down without it breaking at all. What I'm doing now is making some space, and I'm going to put a little bit of flour down on the surface. Now I just think it's easier doing it on the surface instead of doing it while it's cooking or while it's on the baking tray. So a lot of people like to use cutters. That's why people are probably like, I think you missed out the cutter bit in the equipment you need. But honestly, I never have ever used cutters for making my scones. I always make them really big and really bulky, and they always grow enormous, and that is just how I like it, and everyone that's tried it said it's a really good idea. So as you can see here, I've got 6 quite big ones, and now I'm going to get on to putting something in it and on top. That's why I didn't make them the right kind of shape. I just make sure they were going to stay in their shape for now. So I'm going to move these aside because we're going to start with one. I'm going to grate some cheese. Honestly, it's just up to you how much cheese you want to use. And then I'm going to take the cheese, pressing it all down. You're probably like, oh, you ruined a circle. Yeah, I kind of did. And all I'm going to do is take a little bit of cheese into the center, and then I'm going to make it into a cup so then it goes down. Make sure that it covers it all up, because you don't really want it oozing out when it's in the oven. And then you just do the same for the other ones. You honestly don't even have to do this stage, it's literally up to you. And you can also add some onto the top of your scones as well. And once you've done that, you can grease your tin with butter. And then after that, you can just basically put them in and put them in the oven. And then you need to put them in the oven for 15 to 20 minutes. Once they have turned golden brown, they are done, and you can serve them. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video, guys, of me making my scones. If you like recipe videos, please give it a good thumbs up, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys!